In late 1917, 8 keen bandsmen and 1 committed band master, Roland Davis, formed Amington Band. Before this, there was already a band in Amington, but it was in conjunction with other local villages. However, word soon spread and young players soon started to join the new band. In 1918, the newly formed Amington Band entered its first contest in Moira, northwest Leicestershire, competing with other brass bands. This contest developed an ethos of improvement through performance among the players, and that ethos still remains at the heart of the Amington Band to this very day. The band worked hard to put on concerts in the local area and started entering more competitions. In 1919, the band achieved their first podium finish with a well-deserved 3rd place at a local contest in Bowl Hall, Tamworth. By 1920, the band had acquired new instruments and a professional conductor named William Pollard. The band started to win more and more contests, including the 3rd Section Junior Cup in 1921 and the 2nd Section Grand Shield in 1923. This resulted in the band being promoted to the Championship section. During this time, the very band room you're standing in was built here on Sharp Street, and Amington Band had a permanent home. The band continued to succeed through the 1930s and 1940s, with particular highlights being prize wins at the British Open in Manchester and regular performances at the BBC and other various recordings. During the Second World War, the band continued to perform, and when the war ended, the band toured southern England. In the 1950s, Amington Band welcomed its first female players. In the 60s, Bernard Springett was appointed as musical director. He worked hard to maintain the band's contesting success. Under his direction, the band achieved 2nd place in the final of WD and H.O. Will's European Brass Band Championships of 1973, and even appeared in the film Privilege, released in 1967. Sadly, during this time, the coal mines started closing, and with players' worries and attentions diverting to their jobs, the band were unable to maintain their championship section status. In 1984, Alan Morris took the reins as musical director and led the band from the 4th section right back up to the championship section. In this time, the band appeared at the national finals 3 times in as many years, made an appearance on national television, and took pride of place on the LP The Tamworth Album to commemorate the bicentenary of the birth of Sir Robert Peel.
When the Romans built old Watling Street through a land of forest and marsh and peak, they never guessed their glorious feat would help give rise to Tamworth Town.
By 1989, the band was in its element and had attracted attention from Tamworth-based injection moulding firm Tryman, who sponsored the band for 3 years. At this point, Alan Morris tendered his resignation, believing that he had taken the band as far as he could. After a period of auditions, Denzel Stevens was appointed as a professional conductor. At his baton, Amington achieved a top 6 placing in the championship section and also released the recording, aptly titled Brass Meets Plastic. When the period of sponsorship came to an end, and with no alternative funding on the horizon, the band had to dispense with the services of Mr. Stevens. He was promptly replaced by Mark Hyam. Unfortunately, due to some previous poor contest results and a national reorganisation of brass band contesting sections, the band were demoted to the second section. 2 years of moderate results followed, and then in March 1991 the band achieved a 4th place in the Pontins qualifying contest at Breen Sands. Mark chose this as a suitable point to tender his resignation and passed the baton to Mick Gernon. This marked a resurgence in the band's fortunes, with numerous top 2 placings and leading to 2 more appearances at the national finals, once in 1992 and again in 1993. The band's newly found consistency earned them promotion to the recently formed first section. In the now all too familiar style, Mick chose this moment to move on. Alan Morris was again cajoled into conducting the band for 2 contests. One of these was the area contest, in which they achieved a commendable 5th place out of a field of 18. The helm of Amington was then passed to David Hutchinson, who led the band in the first section through to 1997. During this period, a number of top half results were achieved, with a notable 2nd place at the Milton Keynes Entertainment Contest. After this, the band dwindled, and other than a reasonable 8th place under Mark Phillips in the 2nd section, they ceased contesting. However, during this time, Roland Cross, a bandsman from a previous era, returned to the band. He worked tirelessly to teach local children to play brass instruments. Many of these formed the foundation of the next phase of the band's history. Some have even gone on to become professional musicians. Rowley is sadly no longer with us, but the existence of today's band owes much to his work. This is probably an appropriate point to remember Dave Cross, Rowley's nephew, who sadly passed away in January 2016 at the age of 54. In 1999, Wesley Kendrick was appointed as musical director. This marked the start of yet another period of rebuilding. In his 15 years conducting the band, Wesley steered them from 4th section to the 2nd section, picking up a hat-trick of national finals appearances from 2006 to 2008. During his time in Amington, the band also appeared in a production of Brassed Off at the Lichfield Garrick Theatre in 2010. In 2012, the band performed to a huge crowd in the castle grounds as the Olympic torch passed through Tamworth. In early 2014, the band appointed Kevin Stewart, aka Sid, as musical director. He helped the band gain a respectable 7th place at the Midlands areas in the following March. This secured the band's place in the 2nd section for another year. Amington Band's next musical director was Bob Stradling, who took up the baton in December 2014. Bob worked the band hard to be able to take part in the next area contest, but moved on soon after. After another difficult search for a conductor, Malcolm Reed took the reins in April 2015, just a month before a contest. And so concludes a brief history of Amington Band. We hope you enjoy our centenary celebrations and tonight's concert, conducted by Adrian Taylor.
sweetly through the green. Johnny Deacon sees them clearly in his mind. There's a peacefulness steals over him, so softly and serene.